All right, everybody. Today's Friday. It is the 3rd of March. Sorry, 3rd of April. What I want to tell you today is a quick overview of kind of where we're at for the marking period. Mr. McCann, Miss Adams, and I all talked, and here's kind of what we're thinking. We're going to have, if nothing changes, if we stay in this kind of online learning scenario for the remainder of the year, and none of us knows if that's what's going to happen, but if that's what happens, then here's our plan. We're going to do 4 quizzes between now and the end of the year. We're going to have 1 test between now and the end of the year. And if nothing else changes, that will be quarter 4. Now, there'll be homework assignments and like classroom tasks and so on, but that's how we're going to do assessments. There could be a final. We're kind of waiting to hear if final exams are going to be something that we're going to utilize or not. But right now, we're going to assume that we're not doing finals until we hear differently. So once again, we're going to do 4 quizzes and a test. And your first quiz is going to be coming up on Tuesday, the 14th. Now, that quiz is going to be specific to Get More Math. In fact, what I'm going to teach you today is pretty much exactly what's on the quiz. The questions are going to be the same. The layout's going to be the same. The quiz will be on Get More Math. That way everybody will have different questions and unique questions. So let's get to it. I'm going to try to make this quick. There are 4 examples that you're going to have here. You're going to see all of these today, and primarily this video should hopefully clear up any concerns you might have. First and foremost, a system of equations that's graphed will normally have one solution. That solution is wherever your 2 lines cross. This question says, write the ordered pair that is the solution to the system of equations graphed below. That means, what is this point? Okay, so all you're going to do is parentheses, and then you're going to do some counting. I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to start from the origin, and I'm going to count from the origin to this point. Now, when counting, you always go left and right first. So this is going to be a right or a left movement. Right would be positive, left would be negative. In our example, we're going to go right 1, 2, 3 places. 3 places is enough because now we're lined up vertically with where we need to be. And it was 3 spaces to the right, so I'm going to type in 3. Put a comma. Now we're going to go ahead and do the up or down movement. Up is positive, down is negative. In this case, I'm going down 1, 2, 3. I go down 3, so down 3. I'm going to go ahead and close off my parentheses, and because you could pause the video and look back at this, let's be very clear on what you should have typed in here. You should have just this typed in as any answer, well, any style of answer to any question like this. You identify where your lines cross, and you point it out in these 2 in this ordered pair. If you had 2 lines that were perfectly parallel, let's say you had one that looked like this and another one that looked like that, and they don't have a common point, then you would choose no shared points. So let's move on. Second question. Some of these you've seen in Get More Math are kind of wacky. Farmers Natalia and Rapunzel each started with some habs on their farm. Every day they got some more of them. So Natalia, let's start with her. So Natalia's habs are this solid line. She starts at 80 habs and she gets more each day. Whether she's growing them or buying them, I don't know. Rapunzel is the dotted line. Rapunzel starts quite a bit less than Natalia, but gains them at a much more rapid pace. She's either growing them faster or buying them faster than her colleague Natalia. This is the point where they both have exactly the same amount after the same amount of days. Sometimes it's going to ask about that, sometimes it won't. This question says, for which number of days will Natalia have more habs than Rapunzel? Okay, so the key word here is more habs than Rapunzel. Natalia is the solid line, so let's go ahead and focus on her. I'm going to erase some of this other stuff. Oh, I'm going to leave that there actually because that's going to be helpful. So Natalia, we want for which number of days will Natalia have more? So that means Natalia, her line is on top of the dotted line. So right here, this little chunk, if you can see this little chunk is the spot where Natalia, and it looks like they cross up here. That chunk is the spot where hers is higher than her friend Rapunzel. So therefore, that's the part where she has more of them. How many days will that be? Well, let's come down to the number of days. And we see that we're going to have to guess a little bit, but it's somewhere between 10 and 20 and pretty much 20. And the only real option that's available that fits that need is 18. So that's our choice. That's the second style of question. Third style of question. This caused some concern for people. Let's see if we can figure this out. Graph the following system of equations on the grid provided, and then what's the solution? I couldn't fit it on my picture, but there will be a little box here. You'll write your answer in. So here we go. Start with the first one. Plus 3 is here, and 1/3 goes up 1 and right 3. So my next dot would be 1 up and right 3. And if I hit that, then Get More Math will automatically populate a line that kind of shows up that looks something like this. Now we do the bottom one. I'm going to do plus 5, so plus 5 is right here. And 1x, right? 1x is 1 over 1, so that's going to be 1 up, 1 over. So my 1 up, 1 over is going to be 1 up, 1 over. I'm going to put my second dot there. When that happens, it's going to auto-populate, and I'm going to get a line that looks something like this one. See if it'll snap around there. And then you simply have to identify where they cross. This one crosses from the origin. I'll use pink again, just like in the first example. 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left, and 1, 2 spaces up. Right? That's how you do that problem. And finally, last one. Gertrude started out the day with 25 jupes, and you can read the whole question for yourself. Basically, it says, estimate the number of hours it will take for each person to have the same number of jupes. As far as I can tell in every question like this, all they want to know is when do these two lines, of which they didn't draw them long enough, when do they cross? Very simple. You're going to take, and if you transfer this like as a screenshot over to Notability, it becomes very, very easy. Watch what you do. See how from this dot right here to the tip of the arrow, it's a 1 up and 3 over kind of pattern? Well, I want you to imagine that 1 up and 3 over pattern numerous times. Right? And if you can imagine that 1 up and 3 over pattern numerous times, you can recreate where these additional dots are going to be. 1 up and 3 over would be here. And then you can simply extend that line. Let's do the same thing for the one below it. This is 2 up and 2 over. So let's do a couple more 2 up and 2 overs. So here we go. 2 up, 2 over. 2 up, 2 over, and you can see that they cross, oops, right here. Not surprisingly, we're going to identify that spot where they touch. I'm going to use pink like I did in the other two examples. We're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The only thing we have to keep care of here is that these are scaled. So 1 over and 1 up might not really be 1 over 1 up. I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. But those 5 spaces, or 6 spaces, I'm sorry, look like 6. So we're going to go ahead and do, no, actually we don't even have to put an ordered pair because the question says estimate the number of hours. All it asks about is hours, and the number of hours is 6. So we just put 6. You may have to type in hours, I'm not really sure, but that's it. So 4 different styles of questions. I tried to keep the video short. This is your only task for today, and good luck.